That's so, I love that. I love stuff like this. It didn't go to plan whatsoever and everything kind of fell apart, but well, today should be the day that they are going to be tearing up half of our apartment's walls. I went on a run early this morning because we're supposed to be here at 9, and it's currently 8:51. Meaning they should be here any minute. Still have no idea what to expect. Yeah, because I know like they're going to be doing this wall right here. I don't know if they need 1 foot of clearance or if they need like 10. And to me, it just seems kind of redundant or a bad use of my time and Savannah's time to move this stuff twice, so I'd rather just do it once. Yesterday it sounded like a full-on construction crew was like just going like jackhammers and everything else like below us because they did the apartment below us. And at one point they were taking out this entire like frame of this window. I'm not really sure why, but yeah, today it'll be interesting. I just realized I haven't had anything to eat today, and I ran 10 miles, so obviously I probably should eat something. And on top of that, I don't know when I'll actually be able to use this because like I said yesterday, it sounded like they were taking out the entire wall. So, and from my limited experience with construction work or doing any kind of stuff like that, I know drywall makes a lot of dust. With that being said, I don't know how much use we're gonna have of this whole area. Not to mention, in phase 2, they're doing this wall, so I don't know if that means we're not gonna have access to a kitchen for 5 weeks. That's not today's issue. That's what I'm trying to say. It's been an hour and 9 minutes. They're still not here. It's been 2 hours. Still nothing. Well, it's been almost 3 hours since they said they were gonna show up here for proof, so you don't think I'm lying. It's 11:49, 11:50. They're supposed to be here at 9. Oh, I hope you can see me. It's foggy again. I think the thing that bothers me the most about this whole situation is we blocked off today for them to do this because, I mean, they say that it's going to be a slight disturbance, but they're like taking all the walls off. So, I mean, how much realistically, how much work are we going to be able to get done? And our day is completely shot because of that. And it's been almost 3 hours. It's almost noon. And they still haven't showed up there. We haven't got any emails. They're not downstairs. I checked downstairs. They're literally just not here. And the biggest thing is the lack of communication, because it's like kind of being kept in the dark. And we're having to we literally are rearranging our apartment. Let me show you what we actually did. Which honestly, the funny part is I think I actually kind of like this setup a little bit better. But we had to take the desk off that wall and put it there. And honestly, with that, we have a couch there and a chair right there. And I kind of think that where can I put you? I think that I kind of like it a little bit better. I think the space just functions a little bit better. Where are these guys? Over the course of us getting ready for all of this, Savannah and I began to reminisce about some of the past apartments that we've had, and she reminded me of one house. It was probably the worst house that I've ever been in, and she's ever been in. The siding was literally falling off. Towards the end of the lease, the sheetrock where the kitchen is was like falling inward, like it was like pushed down 2 or 3 feet. I wish I had a picture, but the sheetrock was pushed down 2 or 3 feet because water was getting in there and it was completely like flooded. And she brought up the specific memory of the bathtub or the bathroom in the house was actually growing mushrooms and black mold. Looking back on that stuff, like going through it was a real pain. But looking back, it is funny and it is humorous. And that's what this will be eventually many years down the road. Take everything off and basically rearrange our entire apartment, possibly giving up half of our apartment with no like financial, they're like not offering to compensate anything yet. But right now, going through it, if I'm being candid with you, it's really annoying just because like I feel like my time isn't being respected. And to me, that's the biggest, like if I work with anybody, I want to make sure that I respect their time, because that's the thing that you can't get back. Respecting other things as well, but time is like on the top of my list. Like if I feel like I've wasted my time, or I'm wasting my time, or I'm wasting somebody else's time, that's to me, that's the worst thing you could possibly do to somebody. Clearly, not everybody shares my kind of that sentiment. I really hope. I mean, I'm not trying to be such a downer for this episode. It's just. Do you see that? That's an email I got from the office notifying me that they're not coming today. Apparently there was some kind of emergency they had to go deal with. And they're supposed to come on Thursday to do whatever they're doing. You know, this is the second day that I've made a video about this. I think one of the things that I love about making videos like this, like day in the life, like lifestyle kind of videos, is the creative challenge it is to adapt and fix a story that is ultimately like what goes on in your day. You don't have 100% control of, so you have to fix and like mold the narrative and the story around a unpredictable like life. And that's nothing more than, today is a perfect example of that. I thought something was going to happen, and I spent all day thinking it was going to happen, and I formed a story around what was going to happen, and now I have this massive pivot that they actually didn't show up, and they're not going to show up, and the thing that was going to be the main subject or arc of my video is not there. So now I'm in this weird position where I have to pivot the story and still have it make sense. There's not a lot of like genres of like videos or anything that possess that kind of challenge, and I love that kind of challenge. And it's always fresh and new because you're just doing something different every single day. And that's probably the biggest thing that appeals to me when it comes to like vlogging, daily, whatever you want to call this kind of like content. I mentioned previously 2 things that come into mind that I could like pivot to when I'm trying to think of like how to save this episode. I mentioned in the video about like my time and my time being valued. So that's one thing that I could kind of hit home with that kind of goes along with this whole like theme and story. Or the other one would be like kind of morphing it into like living in apartments and how like you can make like how different apartments have different memories, both good and bad. I could dive more into that. So there are 2 like paths that I could really take, or I could take the third path, which is what I'm choosing to do right now, because I think the other 2 I could probably tell the story a little bit better if I had a little bit more time to dedicate to them, and honestly probably storyboard them a little bit with my with a notebook. But the third option that I'm talking about is what the considerations that I'm doing right now, like what happens when something goes wrong and you don't expect it and it completely ruins your video. Like, do you just scrap the video, or do you try to save it by having like a creative like plot twist, which is what I'm attempting to do right now. I love that. I love stuff like this. It didn't go to plan whatsoever and everything kind of fell apart, but I love this. With all of that being said, I think I'm a firm believer that like when instead of getting discouraged or stressed out when things change, unforeseen things change and completely derail plans or whatever, I'm a firm believer that if you just embrace it and you kind of move forward with it, and like you just keep plowing through, then it'll make whatever you're making more special and probably a little bit better, because it's gonna be spontaneous, and it's going to be what actually happens in life, and it's not going to feel scripted, because it's not. And I would much rather have that than have like a perfect day every single day of like everything that I planned went according to that plan, because I feel like my videos would be a lot more boring, and I feel like there's a certain level of relatability with stuff like this, because everybody's had like plans cancel and things change last minute, versus like having it go perfectly every single time. I will say I wish they did show up today, but that's okay. That's life. They had other things to do, and I got to do a video that I didn't see coming. I honestly thought I was making a video about construction today, and I'm not. Okay, that's my video. I'll see you tomorrow. Not construction based, because they're not coming tomorrow, so I'll do something else. All right, see you tomorrow.